Are you ready for a very, very long week of wrestling that started basically on Sunday and is going to continue all the way till next Tuesday, Wednesday? It may never end, actually, at this
It never
point.
ends, man. There's going to be wrestling like every day, every week. Yeah, from now on, basically. So it's never going to end.
Weekends off. We're good. Some weekends off. Maybe.
It depends on how much you watch.
Yeah, it does depend on how much you watch. Greetings, geeks. It's Jules True and Adam Normal. We're here with Smarket Place, here to talk about some wrestling.
Yeah,
we're in the longest week ever for wrestling. It's a whole fucking week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is. It's WrestleMania week.
I cannot believe that they would go from, oh, you know what? Let's rip off the Tokyo Dome and let's do 2 nights because they just did it, but no one watches New Japan. And they're like, you know what? That's not good enough. We're just gonna fucking go all week.
Oh man, well, that's just WWE, man. If there's anything that they can overuse, they're gonna do it. That's what they do. They overexpose themselves in every way possible. But hey, you know what? I'm down for it though, because we're gonna get some really good NXT shit. So
that's what I'm really thankful for. And honestly, I'm very excited to announce that there is no more Wednesday Wars at the end of this week. Both shows, I think, will thrive from the fact that they won't have shit to do with one another anymore. They won't be compared to anymore.
They'll still be compared to because they are the 2 cool shows, quote unquote. But
NXT won't have to hotshot anymore, which I feel like that was taking away from what they were trying to do. They're like, oh, AEW's going to do a big show this Wednesday. We'll do a big show this Wednesday, and kind of just pull the trigger on too many things too fast.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely an AEW problem. They We'll get to it later, but they are definitely pulling the trigger way too fast on something.
Man, the last 2 weeks have been absurd. It's like, is the pay-per-view not tomorrow?
Yeah, it's been a blur. But we'll get there.
So what do you want to start with first?
I guess we'll start with New Japan because I think that was honestly some of the biggest news to come out.
Absolutely fucking shocking weekend. Sunday at 4 a.m, I woke up to watch Sakura Genesis, and there was all sorts of reveals.
So first, before we get there, the New Japan Cup did happen this month while we were gone.
It was a great cup.
It was a great cup. Will Ospreay ended up winning.
In a rematch from a Best of Super Juniors, which has never happened before.
So what did you feel about the angle after that match where Ospreay beat up what's her name?
B. Priestley, his girlfriend?
Yes.
So I'm a Stardom guy too. So I will say that I had heard rumor that B. Priestley's time in Japan was coming to an end, and she was possibly going to end up in NXT UK. So I kind of knew that they were maybe going to write her out of this at some point. I had no fucking clue how they were going to write her out. Was giving her the nastiest looking Oscutter I've literally ever seen Will Ospreay give a single person. And just like, that's it.
But that's the end. But how did you feel? How did you feel about him cutting her though?
So last year at the beginning of COVID, he wrestled her on YouTube for free, which I think everyone should go out of their way to watch. As far as what intergender matches could be, it's the best, most tasteful version because they beat the dog shit out of each other.
I'm cool with that. I'm actually cool with intergender matches. My thing is man, if you are a guy whose name was even brought up in the Me Too movement,
I agree. And here's the other thing:
I would not do anything with male-on-female violence. No, I would do nothing to bring that up because I already have kind of a hard time watching Ospreay. He's so amazing, but it's kind of hard for me to get over that fact that he got called out for some shit.
He got called out for some shit that supposedly was not him. But
who knows?
That's the problem.
Out there now.
It's out there now. That's why Marty Scurll will never wrestle again.
Never.
He's never going to wrestle again. They tried to film him for a New Japan match in California, and the entire locker room rioted.
Yep.
In fact, to make up for it is why we have the New Japan Strong Openweight title. Fun fact.
Well, that show needed
it because Moxley's only going to be there every once in a while, and they're just not going to take the belt off of him.
No.
But I digress. It was a shocking moment because of all of that as well. It being his girlfriend, it makes it a little bit a horse of a different color. If it was literally just another female wrestler, it would 100% be not okay. 100%. It was the craziest heel turn I've ever seen anyone take, considering he was already
already a heel, so it wasn't even a heel turn.
That's why I was like, wow, you were already a heel, but now I guess we can add vicious heel.
Well, he definitely needed something because, yeah, he won the New Japan Cup and he had some amazing matches. But before that, he was definitely...
The Empire did jobs. They all did
the Empire
jobs.
sucked.
The Empire sucked. Cobb jobbed out to Shingo. What's his name? Okan jobbed out to Tanahashi's old ass twice. He jobbed out to him twice. I was like, oh.
Which is why I'm surprised, even though he did win the cup, I am surprised that Ospreay, getting into this Genesis show, defeated Kota Ibushi. He is now the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Literally just 2 years ago was the junior champ, won Best Super Juniors, was the premier junior champion of the world, had run it twice. And now he's become the new Kenny Omega in Japan, basically. Basically, he's gone the same route, just the best junior you could find, burns his way into the heavyweight division, and is now the guy. I mean, he turned Ibushi into Okada, and boom, he's the new Omega.
But man, Ibushi must be hurt or something.
Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt.
Yeah,
I can confirm via Uncle Dave, Ibushi's foot, I think, is almost completely broken, and it's been that way for a while. That's why he didn't do any matches during the Cup.
Yeah, because man, I was just hoping for like an Okada-esque world champ, because I've been waiting for them to pull the trigger with this guy.
We've all been waiting
forever, and they finally did it. And I was hoping he gets that big long Okada run, with that title.
And he's hurt. Honestly, he's been hurt since the Jay White match.
He's always hurt. He's trying to kill himself every single match.
During that match, during one of the swivel knee kicks, he tore a little bit something in his shoulder, and it's been basically tearing every night. That's why he hasn't been doing as much flippy stuff, because that shoulder is about to tear. So I think he's about to get surgery. It sucks. They had an amazing match. It's absolutely worth watching. Go out every way. It might be match of the year. It was that good. I don't know. The Shingo Ospreay match was stupid good. It was stupid good.
I'm waiting for them to pull the trigger on Shingo too, man. Because that guy,
you know what?
That guy has gotten so good.
He's so good. He's so good because we could talk about how great Ospreay is, but when you watch the tournament, all the Shingo matches are the best ones. That's Okada's best match in a long time have both been with Shingo. I'm just going to say that. His G1 match with Shingo, where Shingo actually got the money clip.
That was a really good match, yeah.
The only time I've ever thought the money clip was worth looking at was when Shingo sold for it.
Fuck the money clip.
Fuck the money clip. But this last match, Shingo has everything to me that says world champ. And with Ospreay as the world champ, this could be when we give it to Shingo. With Okada he's just not there anymore right now, man. He's hurt. Not having the crowds cheer him.
Not having the crowd, I think, is the big thing.
Yeah, he's such a crowd guy.
He is a great wrestler, but he is a bit more of an entertainer. He does need that crowd to feed off of.
Yeah,
yes.
Man. He hasn't done the Rainmaker pose or the Rainmaker since COVID started. And it shows, man. His matches they're not the same. But they're obviously, they know he's hurt because his match isn't until way later. That's the whole reason Shingo came out before. Like, Okada was about to challenge, and then Shingo's like, "No, bitch, I beat you already. Sit down, old man." And I'm pretty sure Shingo's older, but yeah, I'm ready for them to pull the trigger on Shingo because I know Ospreay's hurt.
Everybody is hurt.
Nose, man.
Everybody is hurt over there. It's because they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of each other. His nose got absolutely shattered in that ZSJ match. It did, man. It did.
That was a really good match, though.
It was a great match, but man, he went straight into the floor, face first. Didn't see how far he was gonna fall. Man, that match got crazy.
I love watching Zack Sabre Jr., man. He's just like a wizard in the ring. He's super technical. He by far the best technical wrestler
I think he's the best technical wrestler in the world. I think because he's good at everything. He's great at talking. He is now.
He's gotten a lot better.
Oh, he
used to not be.
No, he used to be terrible at talking. It was. I mean, they used to have Taka
He had to turn heel. He had to get really cocky.
He had to get really cocky because even when he got cocky, Taka Michinoku doesn't speak English very well. Cut better promos in English than Zack Sabre Jr. used to cut promos. Now, though, the man's amazing. The man he is Suzuki in English, and it's great because of that.
All right. Let's get back to so Sakura Genesis. I didn't watch the show yet, so you're gonna have to fill us in on everything that happened there.
It was nothing you expect because when you think of Kota Ibushi, when you think of Will Ospreay, and you think of their runs as the Best of Super Junior winners, the Junior Heavyweight champions, you think of Ospreay becoming the next Kota Ibushi. That's what they used to call him. They used to call him British Kota Ibushi. There were these dynamic high flyers who had matches that look like scenes in an anime. And you get to this match and you think about those two guys that got here and you watch them have a good old-fashioned slobber knocker.
They just have an old-fashioned wrestling match.
Man, they do shit that you're just like, oh, you're about to see the cool move. And then it's just, nope, I'm going to literally hit him in the face so hard that it hurts me to watch. I mean, they had a brutal tear-down 30-minute match full of counters that led to just devastating-looking moves. I thought both men were going to die. I thought Kota Ibushi went out in the middle of the match. And I thought Ospreay dislocated something in the middle of the match. And then I thought the same two things happened later. I thought, Will Ospreay went out, and then Kota Ibushi dislocated something. This match was so hard to watch because it was so fun, but so scary because there was times where both guys were like, fuck it. I'm going to hit you for real. Either you dodge this kick or you just fucking don't. Kota Ibushi ended up taking the nastiest V-trigger, and I'm pretty sure he was out for a second. And that's when they were like, fuck it, that's the end of the match. Because the final sequence is basically him giving him a V-trigger, then him hitting the hidden blade, which is where he literally hits his forearm on the back of his head. So you have no time to predict when it's coming. And then he flipped him over for the Stormbreaker. And at some point, I'm pretty sure Kota Ibushi just didn't have his legs.
Man, okay. Speaking of Will Ospreay there, man, how much better is Will Ospreay at delivering that hidden blade move?
Oh my god!
Than what Karrion Kross is on NXT. That looks so bad every time he does that crap.
Karrion Kross is a great idea and nothing to follow through with it. I think he's got a great look.
He's main roster.
He's a main roster kind of guy. Don't get me wrong. I think you put him in a match with Roman Reigns, or you put him in a match with Randy Orton, I think you're going to get greatness out of him because he's really fucking limited in that, like, man, you put him in the ring with Finn Balor.
I think he can do more than what he's been doing.
I think he is
purposely limiting himself.
Yes,
and he's fucking himself over.
He is so scared to get re-injured because he was literally about to win the title. He literally killed Keith Lee because Keith Lee has not been Keith Lee since.
He did kill Keith Lee, yes.
And he has been so scared to re-injure himself that his work suffers from it. I really liked Karrion Kross. Like, I liked his Impact stuff. I really thought he was going to make I liked Killer Kross, man. I thought it was a cool look. I thought it was a cool gimmick. And I saw what they were going to just strap that rocket to the back of him. He got injured, and he has just been not good since.
Nope, pretty much. All right, so let's move away from New Japan.
Yep.
And we'll get back to Karrion Kross, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 'Cause here he comes.
Let's go into AEW. Let's talk. Okay. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about AEW Revolution.
Oh yeah, that happened since we've talked.
Yeah, the last show was us hyping it up. So let's talk about what happened.
Here's what I'm gonna say about AEW Revolution.
Okay. Before we get to the main event,
let's save that for the.
So I think Revolution was a really big lesson for AEW on setting expectations, because they set expectations with this main event, and then they also set really great expectations on this surprise reveal of this Hall of Famer that they signed. And that Hall of Famer was revealed to be Christian Cage.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, I love Christian. Christian is one of my guys. When I started watching wrestling,
agreed. A big fan.
Big
I'm
fan.
a bigger fan of him.
I started watching
TNA,
wrestling.
even.
I started watching wrestling during his TNA run.
Oh, it's great run, dude.
Great run.
Him and AJ Styles. Are you kidding me? That's
Christian's Coalition.
Best.
Yep.
When him and AJ are together, and when he turns on AJ.
Yep. Great stuff.
That's gold. That is. That's some of the best stuff you can watch.
Christian is a Hall of Famer, but he is
not a Hall of Famer.
He is not what I think of when you say Hall of Famer, though.
But that's why he said Hall of Fame material, because Christian is not
exactly
in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, but it's still cool to have Christian around.
It's cool to have Christian. It's cool to have Ethan Page. Here's what I'm going to say. All the things they hyped up were not the best parts about this pay-per-view.
No, I will say I really did like the Sting Darby match.
Loved it. I think that's the best cinematic match I've ever seen.
Definitely.
It's up there with Stadium Stampede as far as
it's definitely up there with Stadium Stampede. I think I like it more than the Boneyard match. The Boneyard match has some cheesy B movie qualities to it that I really like. But man, this one, like, it was really shot well. They went out of their way. I think it's Darby Allin. It's got to be Darby Allin.
Because he does all those cinematics before each major match.
Yeah.
Darby Allin has literally made his own version of wrestling within AEW, and it really came to a head in that match.
And
I mean,
everybody in that match was so impressive. Like, Brian Cage literally deadlifted Darby up 2 flights of stairs.
That's amazing. And it dropped him in the freaking trash can. Dude. Ricky Starks selling like The Rock in the 90s for Sting. I mean, the child in me was dying because Ricky Starks made Sting look vicious his 60s. I was like, oh my God, Sting is beating the dog shit out of this guy. And I was like, oh, right. That guy's selling like a fucking rock star. Because he made Sting look devastating.
My favorite part of the match was definitely the part where Darby was talking, or not Darby, where Ricky Starks was talking shit to Sting, and then all of a sudden Darby just throws the bat from the top.
Oh, that was the best.
And Sting catches it, and Ricky Starks is just like, oh shit.
Oh man.
It was so cheesy, but in the best way.
It was the best because of the way they had filmed it in the very beginning of the match. Ricky Starks says, oh, you need that bat to win? And Sting just tosses it like, no, I don't need it. So the fact that you go through the whole match and at the very end, Ricky Starks says, yeah, what are you going to do? And he gets the bat back.
And I did need it.
I was like, oh, I did need it, but I am going to beat your ass now. The storytelling was absolutely incredible. I thought that was the best match of the night.
If the pay-per-view had ended there, it would have been a
great. And here's what I am gonna say: I'm not a big blood and guts guy. I just love pure wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I did grow up watching ECW, and I will say, if it wasn't for the final explosion, that match was
getting to the barbed wire. Okay, yeah, the barbed wire death match, the exploding barbed wire death match between Jon Moxley
and Kenny
Omega. Everything except for that final explosion was amazing.
It was amazing. It was honestly the best death match I'd ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I hate death matches.
I hate them. I hate them
with a passion. I do not like death matches. I do not like barbed wire matches. Nope. I don't really like seeing guys gratuitously blade. Nope. You know, just I just don't need it.
Just not a fan.
Right? That said, though, they actually wrestled this garbage match like the best way possible. They really milked the first couple of explosions. All of the explosions when they hit the ropes were awesome. Great. They looked awesome. Great.
The way it was filmed, the way they had the explosion set, the way they worked the match. Really
the way Jon Moxley used an explosion to break up a pin.
Oh, great. Awesome. It was awesome. Them both flying back because of it too. Dude.
My biggest problem with the match, other than the not explosion at the end, was when Moxley gives Omega this mean Death Rider into this barbed wire thing on the floor. and there's supposed to be an explosion there, and the explosion was kind of lame, but whatever. But what I really thought was dumb about it was Jon Moxley gives this Death Rider onto the thing, but Omega kind of like misses the whole barbed wire thing, and Moxley's the one who gets caught up in the whole thing, and he's stuck in it for like 2 minutes.
That was the worst spot of the entire match, minus the end. I absolutely agree. That's the one I was like, oh, whew. They fucked that one up so bad. And I stopped being concerned for like a few seconds, even though like he's literally caught up in barbed wire.
Yeah.
Because there was points in that match where, not since I was a kid, that I felt like I needed to cover my hand, like my face. There was so much blood. They bled so much at the end of that match. I could not believe how much Kenny Omega got tore up in that match.
My other big problem with that match was the exploding baseball bat. That should have been the finish.
That should have been the finish. They very much should have just finished right there. I see what they did because the story is great in the redemption of Eddie Kingston. But because the explosion sucks, and I mean, here I will say this, they have done the best they could with that as far as working it into a story, because Don Callis is such a bastard.
I think they've done too much trying to explain.
I agree, because now it's like
I think all they needed was that Eddie Kingston promo. That's
I agree.
all they needed.
But Don Callis just had to double down on that shit, because God forbid this program not have him being just an absurd talker.
Yeah.
He's so good at it. He is Bobby the Brain Heenan, reborn in a lot of ways. He's just a terrible manager in the best way. I do love Don Callis.
I love Don Callis too. He is definitely he is a necessary part of that act, because I really don't like Kenny Omega when he talks. And not in like a I don't like you, I want to see you get beat up. It's like, man, you just need to shut up. You're just not a good talker.
Kenny Omega is definitely there was something to be said about the way he paced his words in Japan, the way he paces himself in English. Yes. Even in English. Like, because New Japan is so more anime-like, I feel like he had this whole other way of talking when he worked for New Japan, that his character was more over the top.
Well, my problem with him right now is my exact same problem with Johnny Gargano on NXT. Mm-hmm. It's too much tongue in cheek. He is playing a joke too much of it. He's making a joke of it for his friends in the back too much. You know, like that promo where Don Callis was over explaining everything away.
Yeah.
Kenny, in the middle of that promo, for no reason whatsoever, just lays down in the middle of the ring and just shouts, "Hey, somebody 69 me."
Oh yeah.
Like, what the hell does that have to do with anything?
No, I agree. That's honestly what makes Don Callis so important, and the Good Brothers so important for that act. Is you don't need Kenny being annoying, because everybody else is much better at it as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, so the other thing that happened in NXT, in AEW, was MJF turning on the Inner Circle
and the Pinnacle birth,
forming the Pinnacle, and then I guess Pinnacle
Britt Baker
dying too.
Oh, yep. The Pinnacle.
I guess it's Pinnacle done now. I mean, they got their asses kicked.
They got no. You know, this is only leading to either.
I know this is leading to a match, but like, honestly, what the hell? So let me lay this down. So MJF, he betrays Chris Jericho, and he forms his own stable, the Pinnacle, who they come and they beat the shit out of the Inner Circle, and they even powerbomb Chris Jericho off the stage, through some tables, onto an awful looking crash pad.
Oh,
whatever.
So bad.
But whatever. I'm pro using crash pad.
I am pro using crash pads because Chris Jericho's in his 50s.
Right, but they could have done something better to hide it.
They could have. Yeah, I know they should have edited that one. It was pre-taped. It wasn't even live. It was pre-taped.
Right. So then after that, MJF comes out. He names the team. He cuts an amazing promo.
Promo of a lifetime.
Of a lifetime. Like, and if you want to watch a promo for promo class on getting your brand new stable over, you watch that MJF promo. That was amazing.
Him and Tully, man, I'll give credit where credit's due. If you want to watch an absolute Here's how a pro of this many years does it, and this is how somebody brand new pro does it. It's amazing.
Right? And then the next week, they have a 10, 12-minute match with Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr., and they kind of struggle to beat them, which felt a little weird.
Was a little weird.
And then this week, the Inner Circle comes back and beats the shit out of them and kicks them out of their locker room.
So
what the hell? The last 2 weeks make no sense to me.
Here's what I think they're going to do. I think this is a long build, and we've got a while till May. I think with the Pinnacle,
they're not building their heel stable right, man.
So this is what I think they're going to do. FTR, to me, is the big act, honestly, within the Pinnacle. They want
fucking up FTR.
They want all the tag titles.
If we're talking about AEW booking and FTR, AEW booking has failed FTR in every step of the way. The only reason why FTR works in AEW is because FTR is legitimately the best tag team in the world.
And this is what I'm going to say. I think FTR is going to win all the tag titles everywhere else right now. I think the whole point of doing that is, remember when MJF says, "I promise you real gold"? I think that this is how Tony Khan is going to put the hand out and say, "Hey, who wants to give FTR tag team belts?" NWA, Impact, MLW, all of the promotions that he's worked with in the recent past. I think he's going to say, "Hey, I've got the best tag team in the world, and I eventually going to put my tag belts back on these guys."
But how does that excuse the shitty booking from the last 2 weeks where they could barely beat a couple of jobbers?
Because you give them the out that they need to start over. And I hate to say this, you make AEW look better and you kind of shit on everybody else, but you're just having them go through everybody else in another. It's an old school territory trick. You want to rebuild your champs, you send them to another territory.
I don't understand resetting again after because the Pinnacle itself is a reset.
Oh, absolutely. It's what.
So why reset after you've already reset? It makes no sense.
Because I think they want to give bones to everybody else right now. With Wednesday finally leaving, with NXT leaving Wednesday, and you have Impact moving to Thursday, and Impact being one of your partners, you can sort of build on top of that. That now that you're literally one right after another.
Yeah. I mean, they've always been one right after the other.
Right, because it's Tuesday. Yeah, but it's a little harder when it's the night before. Whereas, there are more eyes on AEW.
Right.
So if you want to promote Impact, it being on the day before kind of does Impact no good.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Whereas you say, hey, tomorrow night, you're like, "Oh, well, I watched this tonight. Maybe I'll watch it tomorrow." Instead, you tell me, "Oh, hey, it was on yesterday." I'm like, I'm not going to remember by next Tuesday.
I'm not going to go on Twitch and find it.
No, but if you tell me, "Hey, tomorrow," I'm like, "Oh, I have a whole day to figure my shit out and see if I want to watch it." I just think you're going to get more viewers that way doing it. And if someone tells me FTR beats FinJuice for the Impact Tag Team Championship, I'm going to watch it because it's AEW versus New Japan on Impact.
Mm-hmm.
And Impact benefits the most from it, even though it's for two other promotions. So I could see Tony Khan being like, and NWA just restarted. God knows they need something.
Like that all is great, but the last 2 weeks still just make no sense to me, man.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
They make no sense to me. You think you would want this new group? They should have spent at least a month in the Inner Circle's locker room.
Oh,
right.
Agreed.
They took over that locker room. They should have spent a month cutting promos out of that locker room. That fridge that MJF gets thrown into, there should have been one specific promo where he's like, "Hey guys, I got this new fridge for you, everybody."
No, I agree.
That way, when his ass gets thrown through the fridge, it actually means something, you know?
No, I'm not going to disagree. The thing about what they've done is they've booked them the way they're booking the Empire right now. It's like, how are you going to break out this brand new group and just job them the fuck out? And it's got stars. It's got stars. But maybe, hey, you know what? Ospreay just won the big title. Maybe we're going to put MJF in the title picture.
Maybe. I wouldn't hate MJF. Well, no, MJF should not be anywhere near the title picture.
No, he should be TNT champ.
He should be TNT champ. That's what
he should feud with
Darby.
Yes, I think that's where they should go with this next.
Yeah, Pinnacle versus Darby and Sting. That'll be fine. Yeah,
because you have Tully and honestly, you have MJF and Sting cut promos.
Yep. All right. So, shit. What else happened? This week, the Arcade Anarchy.
Yep, it was absolutely nuts.
It was nuts. Best friends. All their feuds are terrible, but all the blow off matches are great.
It's absurd. It's absurd. I will say the feud over Trent's mom's car with Santana and Ortiz is absolutely better. That was ridiculous in like a good way.
Yes.
But the blow off match is so fucking good that it blows away all the stupid, like weird comedy that they did throughout that. Because Santana and Ortiz are still kind of supposed to be a serious tag team.
I don't think Arcade Anarchy was that good. Like it was a good match, but
it was not as good as.
But it does not excuse how terrible they've booked Miro. Like Miro.
But you know what the crazy thing about Miro is that's what he wants to do.
I know, and
that's the craziest part.
Sometimes you gotta tell them no.
And I think that's why the ending of this story was. I think Miro wanted to.
Miro is going to break away. I think next episode, Dynamite, Miro's going to murder Kip Sabian, and he's going to be on his own, and he'll finally be that killer I just want him to be.
I think that's a great guy to put against Kenny. That's a good title match to give Kenny and personally Miro. And I think what's happening is Miro got to do whatever he wanted. And I think Tony said, here, I don't need you to do anything serious for this amount of time. And now I think the time Tony Khan says, okay, I let you do what you want. Put your toys away. And now we're going to do the serious part. Because I think that's why they're just going to burn it. They're like, okay, that's it. We're done with Kip and Penelope. Now you have to face Omega.
I kind of hope Miro, or I kind of wish that Miro had actually spent, like, if the coronavirus hadn't happened, I kind of wish Miro hadn't have gone to AEW and he had spent some time in some of the other indies first. Like specifically NWA. I think he could be really served just doing that old school.
Him and Nick Aldis? Are you kidding me? That would be incredible.
Just old school, learn some ring psychology. I think he could have been served by that. But, you know, we got what we got.
I just want him in the G1.
I want to like Miro. I really do.
Too. I do too, because he's in the best shape of his life.
Mm-hmm.
When you put him in the ring, he does have good matches. I have to give him that. They're not spectacular, but they're so much better than what he was doing because you could see he just gets to incorporate more of what he actually wants to fucking do. And when you see guys doing what they want to do, they just give more of a fuck about what they're doing. And so I want to really like Miro because I see all of it's there. Every time I see him, I think, fuck. Him and Jeff Cobb could have a great program.
Mm-hmm.
He should be in the G1.
Even though Jeff Cobb is kind of in that Miro phase for me too. Like I want to like Jeff Cobb, but he still has to have that one match that really wins me over. He hasn't had that yet. I don't know.
I don't know, man. That Shingo Cobb match at Wrestle Kingdom was really fucking great.
That's
if
Shingo though.
Won, though. I know but they have great chemistry. But no, I agreed. Like Jeff Cobb really hasn't hit that peak yet. He would really benefit from being on AEW, honestly, more.
He would.
He's only been on one time, and I think you put him in a program with Miro, and you get the best out of both guys. But
what'd you think about Christian? His first match.
I really enjoyed it. I love Frankie Kazarian. I think Frankie Kazarian is a hidden gem within the wrestling community.
I love Kaz.
I've always loved Kaz.
I started watching wrestling during that period of TNA. So Kaz,
original Suicide too.
Yeah, Kaz, one of my favorites. I love Kaz. And I really liked that match because it was a change of pace for AEW. It was a real WWE style match, but it was one of the good ones, you know, where they're actually allowed to do stuff and tell stories.
Yeah, because it was all about their rivalry being rekindled.
and you could feel the struggle with everything Christian did,
I know. It made it more
that's missing. That's missing in a lot of wrestling nowadays. People are just doing things really quick and fast and smooth, and it's like, nah, man. Sometimes you need to slow down, make it look like you're actually really struggling to do whatever you're doing.
I give Christian a lot of credit. Is he wrestles like Tanahashi now, in that he literally just plays up the struggle of the match as opposed to the moves. And it really was so refreshing to watch that on AEW, because AEW is so caught up in the storytelling of the match.
The complete opposite of the trios match that happened later in the night.
Right.
Which, don't get me wrong, I fucking love that. I love that trios match.
Dude, the Laredo Kid and the Lucha Bros are everything you remember about Rey Mysterio, but isn't actually there. In terms of, holy fuck.
They are a video game come to life.
They are not real.
Yeah, there was that one spot where Phoenix literally just leaps across from off screen. He leaps across, and while midair, he like Pele kicks some dude in the face, and then he goes off screen. And it's like, how did he get that much air?
How? This match was crazy because I forgot Penta can fly. And he went.
Penta is weird for me.
I love Penta.
They have been really I love Penta. Penta is one of my favorite wrestlers right now, just because he is so awesome. He's so cool. But his booking the last month has been so weird. I love his new translator. His new translator is definitely the best part of his act.
Alex Abrahantes is amazing, because I listen to the Spanish feed sometimes. He's a great commentator in Spanish. But also him being this
he's so smug about it. He's so happy to tell you the shitty things that Penta wants.
It's amazing. It's a great act.
But like he was a super heel against Cody Rhodes earlier this month. But then now he's back with his brother and Laredo Kid, and now he's kind of like back to being a babyface. It's weird. It's really weird.
So the thing about Penta is he's supposed to be kind of the tweener in Mexico, in that like he's like chaotic neutral. His brother is typically the more extremes of the two. When they're heels, he's a heel, and when they're baby faces, he's all the way the baby face. But Penta is always known to go back and forth.
He's always in the middle.
He's always in the middle. He's like, yeah, but I just want to win, and whatever winning requires me to do right now. And I kind of like appreciate that about Penta. But it also can play into weird booking, because, everywhere else in the world, the in-between babyface and heel is softer. In Japan, you could go back and forth a lot. In Mexico, you could go back and forth a lot. But here in North America,
it's very stingent here.
It's very stingent. You're either a absolute dick heel, or you're the babiest of baby faces. It is very rare to get like a true tweener. And all the ones they try, it's always a little more heel than baby.
Right.
But no, Penta just says, no, fuck it. I'm going to do this the way I do this. And that he does have a heel like translator, but he's in a babyface group with Pac and Fenix. I love it though. I think whatever Penta does is gold.
My only thing with Penta, other than the weird booking, was, man, I wish he would use his arm breaker move less often.
I'm surprised they let him do it so much. Because it was so more devastating when it was his finisher.
Because back in Lucha Underground,
that was his
when
finisher.
He would break people's arms with that
would be the end of the match.
That'd be the end of the match. That person would be gone for weeks.
Over. Weeks at a time. With fucked up arms back. Everybody's sold for that move.
And now he's doing it in every single match, and it means like, and the person just gets up afterwards.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
So yeah, anything else on AEW?
Other than, no, I guess that's pretty much it. I will say the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match.
Oh yes, that
fucking ruled, man. Yep. That feud. Here's what I'm gonna say: we've all felt indifferent and sometimes underwhelmed by the women's division in AEW. We all want it to be better than it is. Riho's amazing. She does great. Doesn't get the matches she deserves.
She doesn't have enough character either. They don't give her enough time to develop one.
No, they really don't. And that's been the big problem.
She looks great in those suits though.
And she has great matches. She's great in the ring. She just it's one of those things, man. Sometimes you just need to let her go in her language. I don't have to hear her in English.
I'll give NXT credit for that, man. They let Io Shirai go in Japanese.
And you know what? They learned, because that fucked up Kairi and Asuka for a while.
It did.
And so that he's learned, because she's not going to the main roster.
Probably
she doesn't.
Not.
No. I know you didn't hear this from me, but you heard it first here, folks. Io Shirai is not happy, does not want to remain in America, wants to be with her fiance Evil in Japan. Has not been the same since Kairi left. People don't know this, but Asuka's a mom, so Asuka's usually with her kid.
Yeah.
So Io is kind of stuck on her own, does not like being there, does not like the way that Shinsuke Nakamura has been booked. It bothers her a lot, and she just does not want that for her. So the word on the street is Io Shirai, when her contract is up, she is going to say, fuck them.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if she goes back to Stardom.
Oh, yeah, and Bushiroad owns Stardom now. So they're offering her big New Japan bucks to come back. Her and Shinsuke, I've heard, have gotten crazy offers for when their contracts are up. Like stupid, like money no Japanese star has ever seen. And Shinsuke is like, I love him to death at the end of his career. But they're offering him crazy fucking money to go back.
Oh, man. Okay. So
let's talk about NXT and WWE, because it's their week, really.
It is. It's WrestleMania week. Biggest week in the year for wrestling. WWE is making it an entire week this year, instead of just a day. Plus, on top of all the other shows, WrestleMania week is always a big week for all your indies, typically.
True.
So I know Impact is running a show on the WrestleMania Sunday. Which is really
that's a bold choice. That's a bold choice.
So
2 nights of TakeOver, the first ever.
2 nights of TakeOver, plus we're getting an NXT UK prelude thing.
Yeah,
which is before that too. I'll probably check it out. I mean, I don't know if you watch NXT UK.
I'm gonna say this: I watch NXT UK because the wrestling's actually surprisingly better than anything else.
Okay. I'm gonna say I actually watch. I typically catch it too. It's usually the show I watch on Saturdays while I'm doing dishes. And the wrestling is a lot better. So I'll probably watch this.
I'm gonna say this: NXT UK has been the best WWE product.
I don't know about that. It feels like NXT before the TakeOver days.
It does. But because of that, I feel like it really has direction. My problem with
I could still see a lot of the developmental stuff though.
Totally,
like
the
Pretty Deadly, man.
Yeah. Oh man. Look, this is what I'm going to say about NXT UK. It's not always better, but it has a defined vision for where it's going.
It does know where it's going.
NXT sometimes can feel a little disconjointed. Things sometimes, like, I will.
That's because it's now it's because of how it's taped now. It's not all taped together like UK is. It's
taped an extra
every
hour
week
to fill, and for a while they were hot-shotting. They had no choice. They were like, we got to fuck up AEW's audience somehow, and the show suffered. Both shows suffered.
NXT UK Prelude. It's going to be headlined by Walter and Rampage Brown. Walter's definitely going to win that match.
He's going to beat the dog shit out of him.
Yeah,
because Walter has that.
Walter has a second match this week, so against a much better opponent.
And that's actually one of the matches I'm absolutely looking forward to.
Definitely. Anytime Walter is doing a match, Walter makes people.
Yes.
Okay. I did not care about Ilya Dragunov.
Oh no, but that
now he is one of the main reasons why I watch NXT UK.
Yeah,
I did not care about A-Kid.
No, man,
A-Kid is great now.
Woo! Walter is everything you remember about a wrestling champion.
He is everything that you picture physically Andre the Giant was back in the day.
Yes,
you know,
he's huge.
But Andre the Giant, like, he was huge. He was a much bigger star. But honestly, like, he was very limited in the ring. Walter, on the other hand, that guy, he goes. He
goes, man. He looks like Andre and wrestles like Bruiser Brody. He's just so fucking athletic, and he's just so sudden. His chops are so devastating.
Right?
He's like a kaiju. It's like, holy shit, this is this monster that's gonna kill me.
So he's gonna destroy Rampage Brown, and then he's gonna main event the first night of NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver, which they're gonna simulcast on Peacock. Which
I don't know how they're gonna do that because
Peacock, man.
Well, first off, USA has ads, and supposedly the
Peacock's gonna be ad free.
Right? How the fuck are they gonna do that?
I have no idea.
I have no idea how they're gonna do that. So that's gonna be interesting. This card is better than Mania, to be absolutely honest.
Definitely. Well, it's been like that for a few years now.
It has.
This has been the least excited I have been for a WrestleMania. Even last year's WrestleMania, I had the Boneyard match at least intrigued me.
Yes.
This year, nothing. Like I am interested in the Edge, Reigns, Bryan match because I like all three of those guys.
I do, but the way they booked it, first off, Bryan did jobs for the entire last year.
Oh, this was definitely a last minute.
What
like Bryan tradition, this is a last minute decision to finally push the guy for some reason.
And it feels bad. I feel bad because, like, once again, we can't book a babyface because Edge has been a hard to swallow babyface, and now all of a sudden he's a fucking heel because that's just what we do in WWE. We don't know how to book baby faces. We say, fuck it, let's throw the heel. Daniel Bryan is the only baby face that we still have. And there's got to be a baby face in this match somehow. We can't have heel versus heel. What the fuck are we doing?
I know.
I mean, dude.
All of WrestleMania this year is like that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We're still on NXT TakeOver.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it.
So the first night is going to be headlined by Walter Ciampa, which is going to be great. Tommaso Ciampa cut a great promo this week.
Great promo. The youngest old man ever.
Oh, yeah. He's like, really playing up that old man.
Oh, I know, because he's 35, but he's old man Logan all of this.
But he's growing out that beard with the gnarly white hair, and yeah, he's really playing that up.
I love it.
That match is gonna be one of the best matches of the week, hands down. It's gonna be the sleeper hit. I'm calling it now. Walter is totally gonna win that match.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way
Walter wins everything. But yeah, that'll be a great match. They're also gonna do that weird gauntlet eliminator match.
Man, my head has not caught up to the rules of this match.
I mean,
the whole concept.
So it's an elimination chamber without the
elimination chamber.
Yes.
Why don't you already own the chamber? Couldn't we just say this is the first ever NXT?
Yeah, but they didn't want to have to break it out of storage and put it together. But that's basically what it is. It's the elimination chamber without a chamber. I'm pretty sure that Dexter Lumis is going to win, 100% unfortunately.
Why I don't care about this match is because I know Dexter Lumis is going to win.
Dexter Lumis is a weird enigma for me because I want to like him. I like all the things that he likes. Like, I get what his character is.
And
you know what? He's strangely charismatic for a man who has not said a single word since he's been on TV.
Here's what I'm gonna say about Samuel Shaw.
His host thing, where that was the best time they've ever.
It was hilarious. Oh yeah, him with the pictures. Look, this is what I'm gonna say. Sam Shaw is a great wrestler, and I think if you really let Sam Shaw do what he wanted to do, you would get a better act out of this. Dexter Lumis is up there with The Fiend for me, and great ideas. Worst booking ever. Worst. I
don't even necessarily think it's the booking though, because the matches themselves haven't been great. All of his strap matches suck.
The part of WWE booking is that when you book a match, the match itself is laid out as well.
Yeah.
The wrestlers get little to no input these days. As far as, especially in NXT, they tell you move for move because they have to know the camera cut, which is fucking ridiculous. That's the big difference in WWE and obviously New Japan, why there's only like 3 camera angles.
Right.
Is because the camera guys, nobody, and even the commentators, have no idea what is going to happen. Whereas in WWE, the commentators have a list in their lines of what is actually about to happen. That's why Michael Cole never misses the spear! The spear! Every time Roman Reigns hits it. He does. I'm sorry, Michael Cole. You were one of my favorite backstage interviewers of all time.
Because it was fun watching people shit on him.
But he is the worst announcer I've ever endured.
For the longest time too, because it used to be they would cycle in and out, but he has been the one constant.
Dude, Michael Cole, do something else. I love you, man, but you got go away heat for me. Man, the sound of Michael Cole's voice literally tells me to change the channel or hit.
Man, at least he's not having matches at WrestleMania anymore.
Oof, don't even want to think about that anymore.
All right, so going to the second night of TakeOver, we got Gargano versus probably Dexter Lumis. That's going to be a comedy match that
just no business being in Mania weekend.
No,
I feel so bad for Johnny Gargano.
I do, because Johnny Gargano is legitimately one of my favorite wrestlers.
Oh, what of the
hands down
wrestlers of this era?
Right,
hands down. I mean, dude,
and I hate the way. I hate his character.
They're the worst. I can't believe it's pretty much 10 years ago. I saw Johnny Gargano and Ricochet in a Dragon Gate USA title match. And it was probably the best indie match I'd ever seen in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And the last year makes me think about that match every day. And like, Ricochet is dead. And Johnny Gargano is a joke. What the fuck happened? He stayed to build this house. And we are literally turning.
Well, that's what happened. He stayed, and his story was over with, and they had to find something else for him to do. And I guess this is the something else, and
it's almost unwatchable at times. I just can't believe he lived long enough to see him become the worst comedy act in wrestling today.
I don't know why they keep doing the skits, because the skits are always terrible.
Oh my god.
None of them are good.
None of them are good. Who is this getting over? It's not Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano.
No. And definitely not Austin Theory.
No, he just looks like a meathead. I feel for Austin Theory because
that's not a great image for him to show, because I already thought he was a meathead to begin with.
My problem, you want to talk about Will Ospreay. Austin Theory had worse rumors about
Hell yeah,
him.
he did.
Will Ospreay's rumors were shitty, but Austin's theories were criminal. I mean, literally criminal. And so
did he just come out on Twitter and spew some shit about that?
Yes, like a dumbass, which is I think why they're kind of writing him out of this story now. But no, I don't understand. They thrusted him into this act, and this act is just unwatchable for poor Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
No, not looking forward to that.
We got Io and Raquel Gonzalez for the women's championship.
That's going to be
Gonzalez is definitely going to win. It's going to be a fantastic match. Though.
Definitely. It's going to make her.
Yes.
I just hope, because she's gotten so good. Mm-hmm. She really got. She is, to me, most improved wrestler of last year.
Definitely. Because when she was like Reina Gonzalez, and she had the assless chaps and the
Stan Hansen belt. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was awful.
Awful. Dude, Stan Hansen happened once, and it was the 70s. You're just not gonna make that happen again.
Yeah, you ain't knocking people out with a lariat like he was.
No. And mostly, like, he really did knock them out. He just didn't know what he was doing. He was apparently blind.
He was blind. Yeah. Let's see. And then we got the big ones. We got Balor, Cross. I think Balor has this. I think
Ray Balor has this.
I think if there is going to be, traditionally after WrestleMania, we have our call-ups.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Karrion Kross is one of those.
I hope he does the job, because I'm afraid they're going to do him that he never lost his title.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want them to job out Balor, because I'm not ready for him to lose this
Balor
title.
has been, this is the peak of his game. He is so intense all the time.
The O'Reilly feud was incredible.
Right, and that's the main reason why he needs to stay champion, because I
want to see him and Adam Cole again.
He needs to stay champion long enough to either lose it to Adam Cole again, so O'Reilly can beat Adam Cole, or have it long enough for O'Reilly to come back and beat Balor for it.
The only other guy I'm going to throw out there is Johnny Gargano. You want to resurrect Johnny Gargano?
They're not going to resurrect Johnny Gargano in time for that.
Please, Balor Gargano one more time.
But I think it's going to be Balor.
I hope so. I
don't think we'll see the Demon, because the whole point of that last promo he cut was about
that he's done with the Demon.
He's done with the Demon. He can control his emotions now. Which, whatever. And then we got like my main event. I don't know if this will go on last or not.
I wish it would go on last, but I'm sure Balor
it probably will, because back in the day, Gargano and Ciampa, they would always bump Aleister Black.
That's true.
But it's going to be Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, unsanctioned match.
It's the match I'm looking forward to the most.
Oh, definitely. It's the one that has the most history. I think from start to finish, the Undisputed Era has probably been the best booked faction that I know of.
I agree. I say Kyle wins with assists from Strong.
Probably. That'd be good.
I think that's where this is going. I think
either that, it's gonna go either way. I think but I do think you're gonna get a Strong assist in there. Whether or not he goes heel or babyface, I don't know.
I think he's gonna go babyface because the whole point of him joining was him turning heel.
Yeah.
And Strong is best when he's a heel, but I think thanks to this story, you could finally accept Strong as a babyface. I just think he's a great douche.
As long as he doesn't go back to being Dad.
I know Dad Strong was not as good, but you can't help but like make him Dad Strong now. Like him and Kyle fighting for their families. You just know that's where this is going somehow.
He can be Dad Strong as long as he has Marina Shafir show up, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be wholesome baby faces. They could use some.
All right, so let's get to WrestleMania, I guess. I don't even really know all the matches that are happening on this damn thing.
The only ones worth talking about are honestly the one we already talked about, Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan.
Who do you think's going to win that one?
Edge.
It should be Edge.
It's going to be Edge.
But now that they put Bryan in there, I don't know.
The part. No, I don't know. The part is Bryan is there to do the job for Edge. They keep Roman Reigns strong.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is.
Bryan is definitely there to do the job. Bryan is there to do the job. They realize they're like, oh, we can't job out Roman to Edge, but somebody's got to do that job to Edge. And so Daniel Bryan's already been doing jobs anyways.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan gets to do the job at WrestleMania, and Roman remains head of the table.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's going to go.
And then you know what? This is what they're going to do. They're going to give Roman head of the table, and Bobby Lashley's probably going to beat Drew McIntyre.
Probably. I think that's going to be the bad guy who wins this WrestleMania.
And I think
Bobby, I actually agree with that. I think Bobby Lashley is actually approved. I don't really watch Raw, but when I do watch the clips of it, I think Bobby Lashley has been presented the best Bobby Lashley has been presented in a long time.
He's the only worthwhile guy on that roster on Raw. And I think it's smart booking that you're going to get MVP versus Paul Heyman promos. I think that's what you do. You have Roman switch programs because Raw's dying to death. They have no stars besides Bobby Lashley.
The only problem with that is it's going to babyface Bobby Lashley, I think.
I think where they're going, though. I kind of think that's where they were going to go anyways. Because
I don't know if that works though. That doesn't work as well.
Popular? No, Bobby Lashley's not a great babyface, but MVP is a great talker.
He is a great talker. He can sell it.
And so I think you just keep Bobby Lashley just like the quiet fighter, just the happy quiet fighter. Just as long as he doesn't cut promos, he's fine as babyface because who could tell? You just let MVP do all the talking for him. And I think both guys would benefit from the fact that neither man would have to cut promos for that. It's just Paul Heyman versus MVP on the microphone. You don't have to deal with Roman or Lashley talking.
Roman's actually gotten a lot better talking.
Roman has gotten significantly better. And you know what? I think that has a lot to do with
Moxley. It's the teeth, man. He fixed the teeth, so that fixed the promo.
And then also he was like, God damn, fucking Jon Moxley's promos destroy everything we do at WWE.
Dude, that promo he cut before that Cesar Bononi match where he was like, man, that guy looks like he has a great career coming up. Man, I'm gonna kill him.
Jon Moxley's promos make me hurt for Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins because they were in that act and he was never the focal point. And he came out of that act the superstar. Jon Moxley is the face of AEW. But moving on.
I'm going to bring up one more match from WrestleMania. This is going to be my personal main event for the weekend. The Fiend versus Randy Orton.
I just want this feud to end. I don't know.
This feud has been going on for like years.
For a year since the Fiend
years. Like
this
you're right. This was a WrestleMania match years ago. Right. Remember the projector with the maggots?
Oh,
when Randy Orton burned down Bray Wyatt's house?
Yep, you're right. This feud is just never ending. It won't stop. As long as it's over at the end of this, and this is only Alexa Bliss turning on the Fiend somehow.
So the only way this will be good is if it is like a Firefly Funhouse match. Because
I think that's where they're going.
Because that last year's WrestleMania Firefly Funhouse match, I can't say that. Was actually I enjoyed it. The Cena one.
Oh, the Cena one was awesome.
It was just a weird deep dive into Cena's history. Like I can see why a lot of people didn't like it because it was really weird. But I would be down because Randy Orton is one of the few people who actually has a really long storied history that you could do a real deep dive into.
I think they will. I think that's the smartest way to do that is to make that a cinematic match.
If it's an actual match in the ring,
it's gonna suck.
It's gonna be awful. The worst thing.
Unwatchable. That's where I keep hoping. Like they keep announcing it as if it's a normal fucking match, and I keep thinking, dude, the last time you guys wrestled at WrestleMania, it was still unwatchable. Please.
The best part of that WrestleMania match was the Viper dick that Randy Orton had to walk down to get to the ring.
That's absolutely the only part of that match I remember that's worth watching. But no, it's just not the WrestleManias of old.
The brand has definitely lost a lot of steam over the years. The coronavirus has not helped at all.
And the fact that like you have the greatest, let's just be honest. Like I love New Japan. I love AEW. WWE has the greatest roster of all time.
Definitely.
Their hands. And they do
nothing with it.
Nothing with it.
They actively hurt it.
Look at the
Matt
guys.
Riddle.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle? What the hell are they doing with Matt Riddle right now?
Destroyed.
That guy is just riding around on scooters making like if he does not ride up to RVD with his scooter and make a pot smoking joke, I will be flabbergasted.
Here's what I'm gonna say: they've literally turned him into the new R-Truth, and I did not see that coming. When they got Matt Riddle, I was like, "Oh shit, it's gonna be Bro Lesnar," and instead, he's Bro Truth. And he's the same fucking character. He's just in and out of all these stupid segue gifts. Like, I don't know how they did that. But that's that says everything about their booking. Because how did we go from Bret and Owen, WrestleMania 10, I'll then segue this into this, to what we have now? How did that happen? And don't get me wrong, WrestleMania 10 is not the best of cards. I
don't know, man. It's not the best of cards, but it is still very watchable from beginning to end. It's only like 3 hours long.
No, it's a short Mania, but I will say the best match still is the first match.
Oh, definitely.
My God, rewatching this match was remembering that those two guys were kind of ahead of everything because it's kind of how matches are laid out now, especially in New Japan.
Right. So we are moving now to our other thing. Which this week we decided to watch Owen versus Brett from WrestleMania 10. In honor of WrestleMania week, we figured we'd watch one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. What do you got to say about this one, Jules?
This match is incredible still. If you want to see the reasons why guys like Jay White, MJF, Okada love to wrestle guys like Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, and Kota Ibushi, this is the match. Owen Hart was this junior heavyweight wrestler in Japan and Canada and finally got to come to WWF to wrestle his brother, the big heavyweight guy, the guy at the time. And they have one of the most impressive matches, still by modern standards, as far as storytelling, because it is the younger brother who is better, but not per se better, newer.
Well, not necessarily, because in the beginning of the match, Brett was definitely out wrestling Owen.
Wrestling the shit. But then Owen starts pulling out shit Brett hasn't seen yet, which is very typical of the
and
story
Owen gets very, as the match goes on, he gets more and more aggressive. He gets more and more in Brett's face. Definitely giving Brett the what to, like, I'm the better brother.
Dude, that sequence where Brett has him in the, he's got his arm and Owen just starts flipping around and then he fucking arm drags Brett and Brett's face is perfect.
Oh yeah, he's so surprised. Like, what the hell is that?
What the fuck did you just do to me? That's a simple move, asshole. What the fuck was all of that? And that's when Owen finally takes over on the match. The storytelling in their faces in this match are incredible. Because Brett's just like, I'm not going to take you seriously, but I'm going to beat the dog shit out of you. And Owen just turns it on him. He takes all of Brett's older brother cockiness and literally tears him apart. But in doing so, he just keeps losing himself. And then Brett keeps getting just keeps getting all of the wins in. And then before you know it, boom, Owen takes him out with a wrestling move.
Yeah, with a wrestling move, which is the best thing. They're kind of in the corner, and Owen just kind of stacks Brett, and he gets the pin.
And he gets the pin.
Yeah, and it was a big surprise.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, no finisher.
Nope.
No sharpshooter.
Nope. Does put him in it at one point though.
He does. They do tease it, but like
they do tease it. They do tease that Owen was going to do it, and then Brett was like, "No, motherfucker, you're not going to beat me with my move." It's a great finish,
which is great. And what's even great about it, this is one of my complaints with AEW is they're really bad about following through with their shit. There's an immediate follow through with this match with later in the night, because this was a really weird WrestleMania where pretty much everybody had to wrestle 2 matches for some reason. So Brett got to wrestle a second match later in the night against Yokozuna for the World Heavyweight Championship, which Brett wins. And once he wins, he gets the big babyface win with everybody going to the ring, congratulating him. And you just see up on the stage, you just see Owen just on the stage shaking his head like I beat you.
Dude.
I'm better than you.
The feud they had, to me, is one of the most iconic feuds in wrestling because, brothers wrestling.
It is one of the best long-term built feuds in wrestling. They took their time telling that story with everything. They didn't take any shortcuts at all. They started off with them being the tag team. Then they started getting some issues, but then they squashed the issue and they're like, "Oh no, we're good." And they keep being the tag team. I believe it's Survivor Series. Is it Survivor Series where they face the Quebecers?
Yes. And then that's when Owen finally turns on him.
That's where Owen finally snaps.
And Neidhart leaves with Owen.
Yes.
Brett's tag team partner, because he's like, you left me behind, and then all of a sudden you're tagging with your brother. We were the Hart Foundation. And that starts that whole feud where Davey Boy chooses Brett. Man. But it all really culminates. I'm not going to say culminates, but the big peak is this match.
Definitely. This is the big peak. This is. There are still awesome things that happen after this. Owen wins King of the Ring, which was amazing.
Oh, best promos. He breaks Austin's neck. Honestly, it's still
yes, he does.
Happens.
But this is definitely the peak. This is the climax. Everything after this is kind of it peters out after this a little bit.
It does. But this match, man, it still holds up, man.
Man, and I just really wish, because they really made Owen with this match. With this feud, they really made Owen, and WWE kind of let him down after this.
You want to talk about ball dropping?
They dropped him.
They dropped after the Montreal screw job. They screw Owen's career up. They literally don't know what to do with him. He is in the Nation of Domination after this. That's like crazy to say that. But that's what he joins after Brett leaves.
Yeah.
And then they bury him in the gimmick he died in. The blue blazer gimmick. Bury him.
But still, those like 2 years. Those are those are two of the best years of wrestling. Just that feud.
That feud is the best example of how to make a star, because they made a star out of Owen.
Mm-hmm.
Owen was not the best talker at the very beginning of that feud.
No, he was not, but he found himself.
But man,
by
at
the end,
the promos before this match, them talking to the parents, you just don't see that kind of storytelling anymore.
Oh yeah, they don't go that deep anymore. Which they do a little bit. That Prime Target that they did for O'Reilly and Cole, they need to do more of that shit. I don't know why they only do that for the big match at NXT. They should do that because every episode.
Borash, that's what he did at Impact. That's why Impact
but they
had
should
that
do that
resurgence.
They should do that
all the time,
episode for every feud.
Honestly, to me, the last few years when Jeremy Borash took over Impact, that's what made Impact worth watching. Was every feud had this, and that's who AEW wanted, and they scooped up, and they're just not using him.
No,
fuck, man, that's absurd. That you could. The way would maybe be Johnny Gargano could be better if you let this guy do all of his shit, because he's got a great story to tell. Why are we wasting time with these ridiculous little skits?
I don't know, man. But
man,
that was this last month in wrestling. You got anything else you want to bring up?
No, not much.
I'm just gonna bring up NWA Power is back.
It's back. It's good.
Honestly, it's like my personal favorite show because it's
so classy.
It's so throwback. It's ridiculous.
So I'm just waiting for the bigger crossovers, and I feel like it's coming through NWA. That's one of those shows I'm dying to see Pinnacle on. Yes. I think all of those guys should be MJF, Nick Aldis. That's what I want, guys.
MLW had Never Say Never, which is aight.
It was aight.
I'm really only excited for the Lucha Underground stuff that's going on.
Yeah, that's really shocking that's how they're gonna get it back.
Finjuice popped up in Impact. That was
they have
fun
the titles. Yeah. That was fun. That's a cool little experiment. I'm interested to see maybe them do more of that.
I don't watch ROH, so I don't know anything that's going on there.
There's not much. I would tell you if there was something to talk about.
But that's about it, man.
Yeah, that's about it. Stardom had some big shows. They were all really fucking amazing. If you want to watch women beat the dog shit out of each other, I absolutely recommend getting a subscription to Stardom World. They are doing shit guys don't do anymore. It is a little scary. It's a little scary because in Japan, it is all about going all out. And the women always feel like, well, we got to do more because they do more. When you look up Dakota Ibushi, you take too much risk for your neck for me to watch sometimes. But it's really entertaining if that's what you're into.
I will take your word for it. I already watched too much wrestling, so I'm not gonna watch it.
No reason to start unless you've already started.
All right, so let's start wrapping this up. So come back for our Sunday show at 7, where Gomer's gonna be here. Taylor, David, we're gonna review all the comic books for the week. Then come back on Monday at 7 o'clock for our preview show, where it's gonna be me and Jules and Gomer as well. Maybe Taylor. Who knows?
Maybe Taylor. He comes in and out.
He comes in and out.
Comes in and out. And then also Comic Book Bullies on Monday as well. Bullies. They're on this channel talking more shit than we can.
We have top 5 comic book characters coming up sometime soon. I don't think it's scheduled yet, but it'll be on a Tuesday.
It's gonna happen. And Geek Tyrion, Fifth Element.
Yep.
It's gonna be a lot of fucking fun. It's a great movie. Good choice, Gomer.
Yeah, but otherwise, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's about it, folks.